Hi, in this video we're going to look at using Excel to find the expected value, which is the mean, and the standard deviation when you make a probability model. So the first thing I'm going to do is set up some columns in Excel. We're going to look at some outcomes of a situation, and we're going to compute the probability, or we're going to have the X, and then we'll have the probability of X, and then we'll need to do X times the probability of X to get our expected value when we'll sum that column. Now, to get the standard deviation, first we need to find the deviations. So what we do is we'll do the mean minus the individual X, and then we're going to square those standard deviation, or those deviations. So we're going to do mean minus X, and we're going to square them. And then we're going to take that squared deviation, so the mean minus X squared, and we're going to multiply it times the probability of that occurrence. And then when we sum that column, it will be the variance, and we'll have to take the square root of that to get the standard deviation. Okay, so in this situation, since we're choosing two batteries at random, we could get none that are good, which would be a bad, so I'll just put a B and then another bad. And what that would be, that random variable there would be a 0, because that would be none good. So the probability of that occurring is, I'm moving my cursor up to this, where this f of x is the function. I'm going to put a right click there. And if I do an equal sign, it'll allow me to do a calculation in Excel. So this is where I can put my fractions. So I'll do parenthesis. And so we're going to get a bad one. That's 4 out of 20, because there's 4 bad ones. And then I'm going to multiply that. In Excel, you have to put the times symbol. Now I need another bad, which is going to be 3 out of 19, because I already used one of the bad ones. And I hit enter. All right, now there are two ways to get one good battery. You could get a bad and then a good, or you could get a good and then a bad. Now, since those are independent events, you need to add the two different probabilities together. So I go up to the f of x and I put the equal sign in. And then I'm going to do the probability of getting a bad and then a good. So that would be 4 out of 20 times 3 out of 9. Oh, no, sorry. There's going to be 16 good. So 16 out of 19 plus. Now the other way would be to get a good and then a bad, so that would be 16 out of 20 times the 4 out of 19, because that's how many bads there are. Notice the plus there, because those are two independent events, so we add those probabilities together. And then finally you could get two goods, good comma good, which means you have your random number is 2. All right, and the probability of a 2, the way that you get that is you go equals, okay, a good, there were 16 goods, so 16 out of 20 times, all right, now there's only 15 out of 19. Okay, now notice this column right here has to add to 1. Do you see where I am, where they have this black box right here? If I go up to the equal sign here, equals, and then I type the word sum, and then do a parenthesis. I can do this cursor. I'm gonna click on it, and then I'm gonna drag down, and I'll get it to sum. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me try that again. I want it to sum, so I'm gonna back up here, and I click here on this column, and then I if I hold the shift and then the down arrow, I can get it to sum that entire column, and it does in fact sum to 1. So before the video runs out, I'm going to quickly calculate the expected value is going to be x times p of x. So in this column right here, I'll put an equal sign, and then I can take B14 and then multiply it by C14 and then hit enter, and it does the calculation for me, which is obviously 0. Now, if I grab this corner here, notice how the plus sign is fat, and then it gets thin. If I grab it and pull down, it will fill in the column doing the multiplication there. And now all I have to do is sum this column, and I have a sum command here, so I'll pull it over. And 1.6 then is the expected value. This number right here is the sum of that column. That's the expected value.